missing 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Everett Fitzhugh, the radio voice of the NHL Seattle Kraken, and you're listening to the home of the Youngstown Phantoms, Western Reserve Radio.
Playoffs, the Super Bowl, and March Madness. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Visit VSiN.com/subscribe to sign up now and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
The VSiN Morning Line.
The highlight of the game was one Saquon Barkley. 302. I repeat, 302 scrimmage yards.
That's insane.
An all-time record in the Philadelphia Eagles.
And looking at his MVP odds, now he's at plus 550. If he goes on to win the MVP award this year, he would be the first running back to do so since Adrian Peterson.
The VSiN Morning Line, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is the Circa Friday Football Invitational on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
All right, Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs in serious jeopardy of missing the 12-team college football playoff, and I know Chris the Bear Felica going to be sweating that out. He's got bets on Georgia to make the playoff, and it's going to go down to the wire. Georgia Tech pulling off the upset tonight. Let's get to Mark Lawrence. A week ago, he had a family emergency, did not get his picks in by the 5 p.m. deadline, so Mark took a offer last week. 0-0, no points. He is still alive in the contest, however, and in 12th place, tied with Chris Piper. Mark at 41-35-1, 45.5 points, and 8-3 on his best bets. Professional handicapper out of Florida, playbooksports.com. He won the Stardust Invitational Championship in 2005. And Mark Lawrence's best bet is a game I'm going to be attending at the LA Coliseum on Saturday. USC +7 against Notre Dame. That's Mark Lawrence's best bet. And appreciate Andy Miranda, USC season ticket holder, VSiN subscriber, for coming up with tickets again for the USC game tomorrow. So we'll be there at the Coliseum to watch the Trojans hopefully cover against the Fighting Irish. I took 7.5 with USC. Mark Lawrence's best bet is USC +7. That was the number today at noon at Circa. So Mark Lawrence's other plays this week: Appalachian State +2.5 at Georgia Southern, Cincinnati +3 against TCU, Kansas -1.5 at Baylor, and 3 in the NFL. Falcons +1, Cardinals +3.5, and Bengals -3. All right, Chris Piper tied for 12th with Mark Lawrence. Piper 43-41, and he's got 45.5 points as well, but 5 and 7 on his best bets. His best bet this week is a big dog. I'm on this play as well. Hopefully Piper has a winner here. Vanderbilt +11 against Tennessee, and that game is in Nashville. So let's hope the Commodores, 7-1 against the spread, with 4 outright wins as underdogs this season, can deliver again in that role. Chris Piper also on UNLV -17.5 against Nevada Saturday night at Allegiant Stadium, one of the last games on the board. Chris Piper on the Rebels laying 17.5. He's also on Kansas -1.5 at Baylor. Similar play there with Mark Lawrence, and so is this one. USC +7 against Notre Dame. Piper also on LSU -6 against Oklahoma. Boston College -4 versus Pitt. And Piper taking the points at the Horseshoe. Michigan +20 at Ohio State. There you go. Chris Piper's 7 for this week, and he's trying to bounce back. He was a leader in this contest at the top of the standings for a long time this season. Pete Wilder, the average Joe this year, representing well, 47-37, 50 total points. Pete 6-6 on his best bets, and he is going opposite Mark Lawrence on the best bet. Pete Wilder is going Notre Dame -7 against USC. So Pete lives in LA, but he's not sold on USC, and he's laying the 7 with the Irish. Pete Wilder also this week on UTSA +7 at Army, Arizona State, Arizona under the total of 54, TCU -3 at Cincinnati, Louisville -4 at Kentucky. New Mexico -3 at Hawaii, the last game on the board, Saturday night. And one NFL play only for Pete Wilder this week, and that is Vikings -3.5 against the Cardinals. I mentioned before when Derek Stevens was in that Chris Massaro and Paul Bovey have been best friends for a long time. Lately, they had an argument and they were at each other's throats, and I don't know if there's still hard feelings between the two, but I know one thing. Bovey does not want to lose to Chris Massaro in this contest. Right now, Chris in 5th place, half point behind with 48 in 6th place. So let's take a look at Chris Massaro's plays this week. Pro bettor out of San Diego via Boston, 44, 39, and 1. And Chris's best bet this week is Miami, Syracuse, over the total of 67. Offensive fireworks in this game. He's expecting Chris Massaro best bet Miami and Syracuse over 67. He's also got Syracuse +11, UTSA +7, Vanderbilt +11, and 3 in the NFL for Chris Massaro. Colts, Patriots under 42, Cardinals +3.5 at Minnesota, and 49ers +7 at Buffalo. Let's take a look at Paul Bovey's plays this week. Again, he's a half point behind Chris, 41, 38, and 5. And Paul Bovey, more importantly, still alive in the Circus Survivor contest. He and his buddy Scott Tribuco still alive in the Circus Survivor. A couple guys I know, wish them well going forward. I think Bovey still has 2 entries too. So here we go. Paul, 9-3 on his best bets in this contest. He's got top 20 finishes in the Circa Million and the Westgate Super Contest on his resume. Best bet for Paul Bovey this week in the NFL, Buccaneers, Panthers over 46.5. So he's won 9 of his 12 best bets. He's on the Bucs, Panthers over 46.5. Also in the NFL for Bovey, Cardinals +3.5 at Minnesota and Bengals -3 versus the Steelers. On the college side, Bovey is on New Mexico -3 at Hawaii, TCU -3 at Cincinnati, Arkansas +3 at Missouri, and Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan over the total of 55.5. Eastern and Western Michigan over 55.5. Those are the 7 plays for Paul Bovey this week. Alex White, professional handicapper, media personality out of Las Vegas, hosts the Sports by the Book show at the South Point. Alex, strictly a college football handicapper so far through 12 weeks and now through 13 weeks in the contest. You're not going to find any NFL on her card, but she is in 6th place, tied with Paul right now with 48 points, 44, 38, and 2, and 6-6 on her best bets. And this has been a popular play in the contest tonight, and it's Alex White's best bet, and that is Texas San Antonio +7 at Army. Alex White, in addition to UTSA, on Georgia Southern -2.5, Vanderbilt +11, Arizona +9, Illinois -8, North Carolina -3, and Kansas Baylor over the total of 62. All right, so we've got 2 more contestants to get to here for Week 13, wrapping up the plays. And James Salinas and Brett McMurphy, America's College Football Insider. Let's get to Salinas first, professional bettor out of Denver, 2015 Westgate Super Contest champ, and the 3rd place finisher in this contest, the first year we did it in 2022. Right now, Salinas at 45-39 and 5-7 on the best bets. And this week, Salinas is 7. All 6 of the 7 from the NFL. Best bet for James Salinas, Colts, Patriots under 42. Also on James Salinas' card here, Falcons +1, Panthers +5.5, Rams -2.5, Eagles +3. That's probably the game of the week, at least on Sunday. Eagles at Ravens, and Salinas on Philly +3. 49ers +7 at Buffalo, and 1 college game on James Salinas' card. Auburn +11 at Alabama. And you can follow James Salinas on Twitter at Rounding Again. And boy, this ending of this Georgia Tech-Georgia game could get wild. A little bit of a distraction. James Salinas right now, again, 8th place heading into Week 13, right ahead of Brett McMurphy, who's got 46 points and is in ninth place. 41-40-3, America's College Football Insider for the Action Network. Brett McMurphy's best bet this week, UTSA +7 at Army. That might be the most popular play in the contest. UTSA +7. 49ers +7, also very popular tonight. Brett McMurphy also on Wake Forest +3.5 versus Duke. West Virginia +3 at Texas Tech. Baylor +1.5 versus Kansas. Texas A&M +5 versus Texas. Louisiana Monroe +10 against Louisiana. And Vanderbilt +11 versus Tennessee. So there you go. Brett McMurphy, will try to get him on the show next week before the College Football Championship, Conference Championship games. America's College Football Insider. Best bet, UTSA +7, popular play in the contest tonight. Let's take a quick look at all the Brooklyn's best bets, and the chart brought to you by Brooklyn's Best. We got a location downtown near the Circa, and if we can get that, we got the wrong chart up here to wrap up the show. Those are the standings with Chuck Edel on top with 54 points. Chuck Edel, Weston Stratman, Pete Wilder, Chris Felica, and Chris Massaro in the top 5. You can get all the best bets, all the plays in the contest. There you can see them on the screen as we wrap up the show here. The 17 remaining contestants in their best bets. You get all the plays at vsin.com, and if you're a vSIN Pro subscriber, they're going to be popping into your email box here within a couple minutes. That's one of the benefits of being the vSIN Pro subscriber. And don't forget the Black Friday deal, $60. That's it. But you got to sign up by Monday. You get it all the way through May 1st. All right, best of luck. Have a winning weekend. vSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
GBank is the official bank of VSiN. Why? For one, unlike other credit cards, GBank
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day, making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part of their live weekly shows, as well as all of the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the GDFL. Find them at westernreserveradio.com. Tune in and the Live 365 app to be a part of the area's sports conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio and on Twitter at WR_radio.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's get it.
The Mahoning Valley Federals is the area's minor league football team. After only 2 years in existence and an appearance in the league playoff semifinal game, the Federals are looking to add Valley High School and college talent to help take the next step toward a league championship. For more information on how to become part of the Federals' journey, go to Facebook at the Mahoning Valley Federals Developmental Football Team or contact General Manager John Galbraith at 330-540-1099. The Mahoning Valley Federals, honoring the football tradition in the Valley.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football. Or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192. It's time to kick back and listen to the Sports Page with your host, Pat Lucia, right here on Western Reserve Radio. You can call the show at 330-707-4202 and tell everyone what's on your mind in the wonderful world of sports. Now, here's your host, Pat Lucia.
I call you.
Saturday morning sports page, Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. 330-707-4202. Get in and talk sports. We do it every Saturday morning here. And here is Western Reserve Radio, Dave Clark.
Yep, here we go again.
Yeah, there were
another week.
Yeah, okay. Got a lot to talk about in the wonderful world of sports today.
Up 1 minute here.
Saturday morning sports page, Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. 330-707-4202 to get in and talk sports. We do it every morning here. And that's the delay here. Okay. We're just having some technical difficulties here in the studio, but we'll work through everything as we always do. Anyway, a lot to get to, Dave Clark.
Yep.
Anyway, let's get to the what's going on in the world of sports. We're just having a little bit of a technical difficulty here in the studio with the background music kicking in. So I think we've got that worked itself through.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, right? Anyway, Evilflus is out as Bears coach. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
So That was a mess.
Always again. And that just keeps everything. I don't know if he lost the locker room or what's going on there, but I think I just was worried about them again changing coaches right there at the end of the season. You have a rookie quarterback who's been your starter from day one. He lost his offensive coordinator, now the head coach. He doesn't know who's coming in to be his head coach, his offensive coordinator, but they're going to have to make some serious decisions on who's going to be a coach, who's going to be the offensive coordinator, and then go with that. They have to, because they got to put some kind of stability for your young quarterback. You keep doing that, you'll ruin this guy. He's got a lot of talent.
Okay, yeah. Bottom line is, where were we going? Yeah, you were talking about that.
With the coaches, with Eberflus, just too much changeover. Can't keep doing that. You know, you fire the coaches, and I'm thinking maybe it was bad decisions. It was made in that loss, 3-point loss. But my thing is they done lost a lot of close games. They've been right there, and maybe you should have did it a little earlier if you were going to do it. Why wait until now? And like I said, unless there's a lot of tension in the locker room, then I understand that you want to relieve that so you can finish the season out. But other than that, I'll be wanting to keep everything together and then make that decision after you can get a new guy in early enough, start working with your core and get everything down, because you got a talent. And the Bears, we always talking about the graveyard. You're going to take a guy with that type of talent and ruin him. Be a shame.
Yeah.
You know, it really would. So, unless he just gets so fed up with it and try to force the trade out of there, you know. But it's just, I don't think, I heard somebody say the other day, well, if they would have got Jaden Daniels, it would have been different. I don't think so.
No.
Because it's something they can't block. They can't block the quarterback. It's just different things they do. They put the receivers, they got everything around them, but they don't even use everything that they have. I mean, they got the receivers galore, but then I can't say Keenan Allen. There was some suspect about DJ Moore at one time. Was he starting to this lollygag and not play like he was? But lately it looks like he's playing hard, but I just don't know. And they just can't lose talent like that. You know. Guy is an excellent talent. So see how they play. They played hard. I tell you, man, did they come back.
They came back in the second half after a lackadaisical first half. The offensive line is still a work in progress, but it's not on the level of the New York Giants offensive line, which continues to be a train wreck, and we're going to get to them. But the Bears had the chance to tie the game. Eberflus lets the clock run out with a timeout left in his pocket.
Now that might have did it. That might have been it, though, right there.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you do that, though? You just can't do that.
That's what did him in.
Yeah.
Now, Caleb Williams, people are saying, bears some of the responsibility, but he's a rookie, and so he's kind of getting he gets a pass. At least it was Eberflus there that screwed up. I mean, he just basically massively, and they've lost, I believe they were talking about 4 or 5 one-score games this year. They had the Hail Mary against the Washington Commanders. That was a gift.
Yeah, they had that game.
They had that one.
Yes.
Bottom line is it's just been a bad year for the Bears from an aspect of the team isn't a bad team. They've just lost excruciating games. Reminds me a little bit of the Chargers last year.
Yeah.
The Chargers were losing, not quite on the level, but they were losing a lot of one-score games. Obviously, the coach gets canned. You could see this coming. And bottom line is, I knew I figured he wasn't going to survive this. I mean, when he let the clock go out with one timeout left, and they could have been, down the ball, get a first down, hurry up, spike it, and kick a field goal, tie the game, get overtime.
Mm-hmm.
You had all the momentum in their hand. That's the frustrating part. Is Chicago had all the momentum. The Lions were just so unlucky to win the game because they played a good first half, but I knew they were in trouble. I had a bad feeling when they fumbled the ball right before halftime. They were going to go in for a touchdown to make it 23-0, and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that they were letting the Chicago Bears hang around, and they were.
Yep.
And Chicago came back. And I thought he played a very good game. Caleb was his second half again. Up and down, he's a rookie, but you're seeing him evolve, and you're going to see he's going to be a good quarterback in the league. I'm convinced he's going to be maybe a very, very good quarterback, given time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just got to give him time.
Give him time.
Just don't. They got to get some stability.
That's the key, right?
Everybody needs stability, and all this in and out revolving door system is not good for. I don't care how good a player is. They don't need a revolving door all the time. So, every year I got a new coordinator or new head coach or whatever it may be. That's too much. Too much for a guy. We understand coordinators might go on to be head coaches.
That's different.
When they understand that. But when you just can a guy and bring in somebody else and, oh, man, I like his philosophy. Oh, he's not. He's just a interim. He's out of here. Now we bring in a new coaching staff. That's too much. It's a lot on a guy. So, It's just, I don't know what Eberflus said. He must have lost track. I don't know what happened to allow that, to hold that.
I just can't. I'm sitting there yelling at the TV. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Call timeout, timeout, timeout.
And I know people saying Caleb Williams, but how many times we done seen coaches running down the sidelines, calling timeout for their veteran quarterbacks. I done seen top flight veteran and the coach would go over there and call the timeout because they might have a lot of other things going on. That's what they're supposed to be there for. But, man, and it's not just the head coach. You got other coaches that have jobs in which that's what they do. They look at whether you should call a timeout now, was this the best time, or do they see something happening, they don't see any response. They talk right down to the coach. Call a timeout. Or sometimes when they say they want to challenge something, whatever it is, they got coaches that's just for that. So where was that going on? It's just a mess, train wreck.
I want to just shift gears real quick. High school football, local high school football here. Ursuline lost to Toledo Central Catholic 7-6, hard-fought game. Then South Range lost to Liberty Center 48-14. So either team did not make the state final. I do want to throw out a friend of mine. His son coaches New Palestine football out in Indiana, and New Palestine is a suburb of Indianapolis. They made history. They had they won the 4A state championship game yesterday. They blew out East Noble 56-26. They completed a perfect season. They were 14-0. And they actually dominated this game. They actually had this I thought was really interesting. They set a championship record for 7 rushing touchdowns in the victory over East Noble. So they won 56-26, and they had 7 rushing touchdowns, which is a state record. Kyle Ralph, who is the head coach of this fine football team, we congratulate him and the entire team here on Western Reserve Radio, as they had Dave Clark. They had 511 total yards offense. This team has absolutely beat everybody this year. Obviously, they're undefeated. But the point is, when I was looking at their schedule, they actually had 2 competitive games. They beat Mount Vernon the first time around, 56-8, and then they beat them again on their way to the state title, 28-14. And then these Bishop Chatard, they beat 28-21 in overtime. That was 2 games ago. Then they beat Martinsville 43-7 and East Noble for the title 56-26. But every game they've had this year has been pretty much a blowout. They've dominated teams from the get-go. They only had one game they put as a tie because it was a weather issue.
Yeah.
And so that was the second week. So that really game didn't count. But bottom line is, again, we congratulate Kyle Ralph, the son of Tim Ralph, a friend of mine, as he is the head coach of the New Palestine Dragons. And they won again yesterday. Big win over East Noble, 56-26. So, again, a dominating performance. And Kyle Ralph he played for North Carolina. He was an offensive guard, I believe, from 2000 to 2004. He did play a little on the NFL line level. It was in Seattle, and then only a couple of years had injuries and then moved on.
Okay.
But he actually did play at the NFL level too. And now he's the head coach of a very successful program, New Palestine football. Again, congratulations. And then I made a remark to my friend out there. I sent him a text and said maybe he can coach the Chicago Bears since he would know when to call timeout.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there in Chicago Bearland not very happy. But we do congratulate again Kyle Ralph again for a fine season, New Palestine. Just a tremendous team. They actually outscored their opponents. They scored 601 to 161. So to say this team had a very dominant year would be almost an understatement. And again, they did a great job. So I do, again, congratulate these fine football team out there in Indiana, New Palestine. They won the Division 4A title, state. So Evilflus is gone. Now that makes 3 teams looking for coaches, the Jets and the Saints. That's 3. Now, we're not even near Black Monday yet.
No. Still got a few weeks to go.
We got a long way to go for Black Monday. And we got three positions open
already.
And the other question we have is, since that was first game on Thanksgiving, the second game on Thanksgiving was the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, which was these two Dallas wins. I get it. The Giants are a bad football team. Dallas, I don't think, is getting into the playoffs.
No.
They're not getting in. They beat the Giants. The Giants stink. The only question you're going to have as a Giant fan is, I don't know if the Giants are going to win another game this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't with that offensive line. Drew Lock played hard. However, anytime he completed a pass, it was holding on the offensive line. And then on the times that they don't block, he's getting sacked or getting absolutely, he's rushing, he's running around. You could see, he reminded me of Daniel Jones running for his life, because that's what New York Giant quarterbacks do. They run for their lives when they play for the New York Giants. They are the men on fire. The New York Giant is a man on fire. The Giant quarterback just basically runs for their lives. The reality is, this is the 3rd year of the Shane Dable. Shane, the GM, Dable, the head coach. I know Mara said he's not going to make a change. He said it a few weeks ago. My question is, because he doesn't want to have turnover.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be the Cleveland Browns. Okay.
Yep, I get it.
I understand that. However, my question is, if they don't win another game, John Mara, Wellington is the father.
Right.
Okay, so they're going to roll out Dable and Shane next year. This is what I say is, if they go back and they bring a Dable and Shane for their 4th year, this is not even. This team is not going to be improved. They're not. I mean, Dable and Shane have been there 3 years. I have not seen, outside of the year they got in the playoffs because they kind of got lucky because they had an easy schedule, things went their way. But when you take the last 2 years, this team is not any better than when Gettleman was the GM. I don't see any difference.
Right.
This bad football team. If they bring them back next year, what are they going to be? 5 wins, maybe? I mean, I don't think this team's going to be really any better next year than they are this year. And Shane hasn't improved the team any, really, since he's been there. I mean, is Dable a good coach? I don't know. I think he's a little bit in over his head, but he has a bad team around him. I don't think the team is that talented. But you get that offensive line is a train wreck. But this has been an ongoing problem with the New York Giants for 10 years.
But that 1 year they was good. A lot of times I know we do say it lucky. They got a lucky or lucky break this, whatever. In the NFL, I don't call it because this just seemed like a team could be 2 and whatever, and they'll beat the top team in the league because that's what the NFL is. It's a breakdown of being where it's an evenly type thing, just 1 or 2 players from a team being really good. So that year, if you look back, check their health thing. They stayed healthy. The offensive line did decent. They had a great running back in Saquon Barkley, and they could do a couple other things. The next year, they were injured, and it seemed like they couldn't adjust to nothing. And then things start to break down. You start to see that, okay, on the offensive line, certain guys were not, they were good because of Saquon Barkley being able to get through creases and making big plays. That gave Daniel Jones a little bit more time.
Right.
He looked great.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, I think Saquon went down with a little injury.
And that's right.
And then now Daniel Jones running for his life because he doesn't have the safety blanket. He even had a tight end back then, too. Yeah, I forgot they let him go. And then now he doesn't have a safety valve. He's running all over the place. He's making mistakes, blah, blah, blah. And then it just kept on spiraling down. So now I'm thinking if not Coach Mayer, but the owner, John Mayer, if he's looking at it, I think these next few weeks, he's got to really observe and say, okay, can these guys rectify things? Then he's got to find out who's going to be in there. These guys can't make the personnel decisions alone. It's going to have to be somebody else to get this team. Because what I think will happen, even if he bring in more talent, if he doesn't get the right things together, they'll have the same problem. Then they'll be doing what we just seen. Eberflus. It's not the middle of the season, but you'll see them getting fired in the middle of the season, stuff like that. But that's not usually their MO. The Giants, they usually just ride it out. They usually don't do that to coaches. I will say that about them, but I don't know. But I think they do need to evaluate these next few weeks because they get. Let's say they lose all of them, and you don't see any fight in there. You're going to have to, now if they're playing hard and they losing down to the last seconds against some good teams, okay. But if they're getting blown off the map, do you think the guys that are some of your stability guys to build your roster off even want to come back in that? Because they're going to already in their mindset, oh, we can't win. These guys, what's going to change? Something got to change. And unfortunately, I understand I don't want to be a turnover machine, but you might have to this time. If they don't look better than these, they got 3 more games left? 3 or 4? They done play 13, might be 4.
I think they've got 4.
Yeah, I think they done played 13 games, I believe, everybody.
Let's look it up. Well, since we like to blame it, you got to find blame. Yeah. Who I blame here is I blame the owner. And I'll tell you why I blame the owner. Is because he's been hiring bad people. Gettleman was incompetent GM. Then they in tune hired Ben McAdoo, the guy with the sunglasses. Mm-hmm. He wasn't a head coach. And why they hired Pat Shurmur from Cleveland, I still don't understand that. I still don't get that.
No.
I mean, Shurmur, you saw him coach in Cleveland. He's an unmitigated disaster as a head coach. Why the Giants hired him and said, gee, let's go ahead and give another failure a shot. When he was And then he was just so far in over his head with the media. They ate him alive in New York, Shermer. But he's just not a head coach. But why the Giants hired him from Cleveland and had him for 2 years, I don't know. Then they bring in the special teams guy, Joe Judge, for a couple of years, and he's a disaster. So, I mean, Mara just has been hiring bad people. Yeah. You want to start with Gettleman, and if you want to say, well, Gettleman hired these 3 head coaches, McAdoo, Shermer, and Judge, the three stooges of coaches, you want to do that, okay, fine. But then Mara had to approve it, so
I always said that. People like to make Gettleman a fall guy. And you can't do it, I mean, because he could bring in whoever he wants. Right. And then if the owner said, no, I don't like what's, and that's it. But they approved it.
Right.
They approved it. And they had to be in agreement that was good. I definitely, I could see you might give Shermer's this out. That's out.
But he was, Shermer. Shermer was a literal.
Just let him be offensive coordinator. Right. Quarterback coach, something.
I mean, whatever, but he was never a head coach. Yeah. And why you hired him from Cleveland, I still never, again, and that was 2 years of pure disaster. Then Joe Judge was so far in over his head because he was really just a special teams guy, and they brought him in because they talked to Bill Belichick, and Belichick goes, yeah, he'll be a good coach. Yeah. He was a disaster.
But I was going to say, that's the guy, even though he was a disaster, the only reason I say I give him not a pass. I'm not giving him a pass, but I can understand them hiring him because people don't realize in the coaching chain, we look at head coach and then people always go defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator is next.
Usually that's
what, but if you ask coaches, what's the next closest to a head coach after after your head coach? It's the special teams coach because of what they have to take care of.
Yeah.
The things they do, they got to know exactly the game plan of the head coach, everything that he got, and then take care of every special thing. They're next in line. It's not the defensive coordinator now. That's the coaching chain. So I could see him giving him a chance, and then you see if he can handle it. If he can't handle it, and that's what he couldn't, so he's not a head coach. But I didn't know how McAdoo. That one I didn't get all the way for him. And Sherman, I definitely didn't understand because it would be different if he won or was decent in Cleveland or just, let's say it was 8-8 in Cleveland. So, okay, we'll give him a chance. He wasn't too. This guy was terrible.
It was terrible. I mean,
and they hired him.
And they hired him. I mean,
I didn't understand that. Now that one I didn't.
It's been one disaster after another. And now you've got Dable and Shane in there. They will probably keep them because he won't want to fire GM after 3 years and a coach after 3. But what will happen is they will keep them, but the team will not be any better. They're not going to be a better team next year. I don't see it.
Yeah. I
don't know. They can't get the offensive line right, which has been an ongoing problem for 10 years. That's another part you need to look in.
Start looking at your assistant coach and see if you need to hire.
I think he's new.
Coaches. What's that?
The offensive line coach for the Giants, I think, is new. He's new.
Okay, well,
this is his first year.
Okay,
they got rid of the old one because he wasn't any good.
And I'm not going to say this guy's bad, but let's say this: if he's new this year, let's say this is his first year, you need to allow him to have major input in who is getting drafted on the offensive line and what free agents you bring in because he knows how he's going to run his offensive line. Is he going to be a guy that used a trap type system, whatever he's going to use as far as the run game plan and the pass game? Then he'll know what type of personnel he need on his offensive line. He needs to have some input. But if you're going to, if Shane is just going to be, we're going to go with the best guy on the board, but he don't even fit what this guy likes to do, it's not going to work. So this guy needs to have major input. Whoever that offensive line coach is, he needs to, and you said he brand new, right, this season?
Carmen Brixilio is the head coach. The offensive line coach 2024.
He's been in the league a long time. I know that name.
Has been their worst coach, offensive line. He's 2-10. That makes him the least successful of an offensive line coach in New York Giant history.
He's 2-10. What you mean?
This year, the Giants are 2-10. He's 2-10.
Right, but he just came this year, right?
Yeah, this is his first year.
There's no way I blame that offensive coach, that offensive line coach. I mean,
Bobby Johnson was there 2 years before him. Saturday morning sports page. We got a lot to get to today. We'll be back after a quick timeout here on Western Reserve Radio.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Malutic Live is your home for high school sports. We have all the scores on our social media platforms throughout the games. Enjoy our timely updates from local area schools year-round. You won't get the consistency and reliability from anyone else. Our number one priority is servicing our fans and getting them live news as it's happening. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Malutic_Live. And remember, our fans come first.
Want to know what I like best about high school sports? I love watching my son run on the field. I love the fact that since he's been playing high school sports, he's making better decisions. And I love knowing that with the proper equipment, education, conditioning, and coaching, high school sports here in Ohio are safer than ever before. And that's something I really love.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Saturday morning sports page right back at you. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark, 330-707-4202. Yeah, just to even give a little quick breakdown with the Giants offensive line hassles. We talked about Mark Colombo was the offensive line coach back in 2020. Well, he got into an altercation with Joe Judge, the head coach at that time. Now, there was rumors out there, supposedly it was a physical altercation. We don't know that. There was a heated discussion. Anyway, Joe Judge fired Mark Colombo right there on the spot, and then they kind of moved on. He brought in a consultant. And that's when, again, this is back in 2020 when the Giant offensive line was absolutely disaster. So the Giant offensive line just has a bad history of just one after another poor year. I don't care if they go get Shedeur Sanders to be the quarterback that's going to, quote, rescue the team. He's not. Shedeur Sanders comes in and plays for the Giants. He'll be running for his life and be hurt, get injured, and then I don't really think it's a good play. If I was a young quarterback, I would stay clear of the New York Giants. That's my take. I wouldn't wish that on anybody because they're going to continue. And the sad part with the Giants is whether they keep Dable and Shane, the GM, it won't matter. The team's going to stink next year anyway, Dave. It's not going to be any good. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too cynical, but I just can't see this team doing anything next year at all.
Right.
The other game.
That Basilio.
Yeah.
I know his name. I think he even coached at YSU, if I'm not mistaken.
His name is, Carmen Brixilio.
See, I'm almost
he
certain.
was there. He is their current head coach.
At where?
Giants offensive line coach right now.
He used to coach at YSU, if I'm not mistaken, and that's how he got the job from there and went to, I want to think, either Washington. No, I think
yes,
he
did.
I think he went to the Patriots somewhere like that and changed their offensive line fortunes. So that's why I said he's got a good coaching record. But see, are they allowing him to get the type of guys he wants in there so they can protect the quarterback?
He was Youngstown State offensive line coach from 2010 to 2018. So he was there 9 years. And he was the Patriots coaching assistant and then co-offensive line coach in 2020. And then again, he became again with the Patriots 2021. Then he was Vegas Raiders offensive line coach 22-23.
Heard of him some more.
And then he finally landed with the Giants in 2020. This is his first year.
As the Giants, right? And I wonder, he come in, is Dable or Shane allowing him to do what he did?
Well, it might be a talent issue. It could be.
Oh, it's that too.
Personnel.
I think it's that too. But these guys got certain schemes that they run the offensive line or defensive line with. And if the guys don't fit it, it's not going to work.
No, not going to work.
So, I mean, are they allowing him to, and that's what you don't know. But if he goes in the second year, I'd be a guy looking to get out if they're not letting me do that, because everything will reflect on him.
Oh,
and it's not him. See, and you can't get guys to do stuff that they're unable to do. Can't get them to do it.
I don't know what you could hire him and fire him. And well, if they keep Dable, I don't know if Carmen Brixilio does survive, because they might move on. The line is so horrible, he's going to get the blame. That's usually how it happens. I don't know if they're going to give him another year or not. Yeah, I'm sure they won't.
They might clear house
or
after the season and then get new coaches, blame it on that, and see if it be any difference.
Dable may just have to, in order to save his job, fire all the offensive, especially the line coaches, and go over and then bring someone else in.
Yep, he might do that.
He might do that. Who knows? Or Dable may be fired and Shane may go.
Well, I tell you, they look bad the next 4. I'm not talking about losing. I'm talking about bad. I mean, where there's not even competition.
They lost that Tampa Bay game last week was an absolute train wreck game where they lost all kinds of, you could see the team was shot. They didn't want to play. They lost 30-7 at home against Tampa Bay, and they didn't look like they wanted to be there.
Right.
Last Sunday, they played one of their worst games. And then Neighbors goes off on the rookie goes off, Neighbors, about the team, and Neighbors is very explicit. He said he's not quarterback. Don't blame the quarterback. It's not the quarterback. He evidently liked Daniel Jones quite a lot.
Oh yeah,
he did. He really and they all liked Daniel Jones, and that was the other problem is a lot of the players didn't like the way they handled the whole Daniel Jones situation, who's now a Minnesota Viking since they released him, and now he's the backup out in Minnesota. So, and he will be somewhere next year. Daniel Jones will be. He may be starting next year for another team. We could get the Raiders lost yesterday. The Kansas City Chiefs are the luckiest team.
They get
in the USA. It sounds like an old song. Was it Helen Reddy and Luckiest or somebody? I just heard a song. I was listening to the 1972 countdown, Casey Kasem's countdown this morning. There was a song, "Luckiest Girl in the USA." I think it was. I have to look it up. Anyway, Kansas City Chiefs are the luckiest team in the USA. The Raiders could have won that game yesterday. Mm-hmm. The rookie center hikes the ball back to quarterback, and what was it, O'Connell?
Yeah.
And it goes off his shoulder pad. It was 15 seconds left. They were going to do a quick play, and then kick a field goal and win the game. And it goes off his shoulder pad. There's a flag for something illegal formation, which they declined because Kansas City recovered the fumble and wins the game.
Yep.
And mean, the Raiders, if they don't fumble the ball, they kick a field goal and probably they would have won the game if they made the field
same
goal.
thing happened to them that happened to Denver. I mean, they blocked it. I mean, they didn't block it, but still.
It's
just
the Kansas City Chiefs are the luckiest team in the USA.
That's what happened with good teams. They, luck is always in some good breaks, lucky break, whatever you want to call it. But that's what happened to good football teams. Good fortunes happen. I'm just like that. I'm not crazy about them, but I mean, that's just how it is. And I look back in history, I look at teams and I'd be like, wow, how did they win that game?
Every week.
Yep.
Every week, the Kansas City Chiefs win these games. They could have and should have maybe even lost, you can argue.
Yeah, sometimes.
And I thought for a minute the Raiders were going to win that game. And when they fumbled the ball there with 15 seconds left, the rookie center hiked the ball back. Nobody was waiting, so you could see that the quarterback and even the line, nobody moved, like everybody was getting ready, and all of a sudden the ball's centered back, and the quarterback, O'Connell's not even looking at him.
No.
And he's like, what is he doing? Mm-hmm. Evidently, the rookie guy, the center, I get his name here, cost the Raiders the game and handed the game to Kansas City.
Yeah. And he's a decent center. It hasn't had no issues. There's something happened on that play. Man, it's funny, but that's how it goes.
A little bit with the NFL, we're going to get to some games. Let's slide over to college. We're talking about games played yesterday. The other game though, Thursday night game, Miami Dolphins that game was over at halftime, 24-3. They were never in that game.
No, I didn't think they could do anything. They have been frigid. And it wasn't frigid as it could be. It was
cold. It was cold. It's Green Bay, but that's
cold. It's frigid for them.
Yeah, but for them.
But they wasn't in it.
No.
It wasn't.
They were never in the game, though. It was 24-3 at half, and you knew there was no way they were going to win. I mean, you knew there was no way Miami was coming out in that second half and going to be able
to do anything. Yeah,
and they didn't.
Nope.
That was a really, of all the games on Thursday, that might have been the worst game. I mean, the Giant game was competitive,
right?
But both those teams aren't any. I mean, Dallas isn't going anywhere. Don't get they're not any good either. They're just the Giants are really bad.
It was a competitive game.
Competitive because you have one mediocre team and one really lousy team playing one another.
Yeah,
and I maybe give the Giants, they played a little bit better with the mediocre team, but I don't think Dallas is on the low end of mediocre. Mm-hmm. And the Giants might be on the high degree of bad if you want to rate these teams.
Yeah.
But that's what you have. And neither team is making the playoffs. And the only other question you're going to have when you're talking about, coaches, I don't know if Jones brings McCarthy back. There's word is he might now.
Yeah.
That he's going to give him like a 2-year extension and bring him back because he doesn't want to fire him. And the Giants will probably bring back Dable and Shane because Mara doesn't want to fire him.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're going to have next year is you're going to have two teams probably being what they are, a bad team and a lousy mediocre team. And then the division will be Philly, Washington, Dallas, and the Giants. That Giants will be at the bottom of the division again next year.
Yeah.
Because I just don't see it. I don't think Jerry's going to fire McCarthy now.
He might not. I mean, I think if everybody's healthy and they get back, they'll be decent enough. But I just still don't think they're that team that can be a, top flight team yet. There's going to be some major changes for Dallas to do it. But I think if they're healthy and get everybody on the right path, they can be a team that could be there. Be up for the division again as they have in the past. But I don't know. I don't know what is the working morale in the locker room? That's the key too, because guys lose that. You don't want to play for a coach or just don't want to be there, and you're not winning.
Other note, we didn't talk about college, and we'll get to it. Georgia won in maybe one of the best games of the year. I stayed up and watched it.
Yeah.
8 overtimes. Georgia beats Georgia Tech 42-42 in a fantastic game. Georgia was down by 2 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter and scored to tie it.
I knew that was going to be a rivalry game.
Boy.
Georgia Tech has been playing good anyway.
Georgia Tech's a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
They're solid, good football team.
Yeah.
Now, Georgia, what that means for Georgia, they were talking about it last night. Georgia will play next week in the for the SEC title. They don't have to win that game now. Even they can lose it, and they're going to get in anyway.
Yeah.
They'll have 3 losses, though, if they lose the game next week, but they're still getting in.
Yeah, I think they're going to get in. I know people are going to fuss about it, but more than likely, they should be in there.
No, they should be in.
I mean, I got to give them, they even had a tougher schedule this year. I like that. Their schedule was nice. Can't fuss about it this one. This one was kind of rough, and they played it.
Look, here's the bottom line, and I know we're in Big Ten country, but I got news for you. I got a good friend of mine who's an Indiana fan, loves Indiana, loves basketball. Indiana's not any. They don't belong in the 12. They need to put in more of the SEC, but they won't.
No.
Because Penn State, Indiana are going to get in. Ohio State, Ohio State's playing Michigan today. They're a 20-point favorite. And knowing what I know, I think Ohio State will win, but they're not covering the points. I have a bad feeling about this game.
It better not be close, and it better not be a loss because Ryan Day will be fired.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. If Ryan Day doesn't beat them today, I don't think they're going to fire him now because they'll get in the playoff anyway.
Yeah,
and he might go on to win a national title and then get fired because he can't beat Michigan. But I don't think so. But at the end of the day, he's got to win. Michigan is 6-5, and they're not very good.
Yeah,
and Ohio State's rolling into this. It was a 20-21 point favorite, and bottom line is, he has to win. Now, granted, he doesn't have to cover, but he needs to win the game.
Yeah.
If he even wins by 7 points, there'll be some naysayers out there complaining.
Oh, they're going to be complaining.
They're going to say you got to win. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to see a blowout.
Yeah, they want to see a blowout. The Ohio State fan wants to see the doors blown off Michigan.
Yeah, they do.
They want to see, and I think if one thing I think you can guarantee will happen is if Ohio State gets up, Day's not letting off the gas. He'll run up the score.
Yeah.
I mean, he won't, if they're up 56-10 and it's the fourth quarter, Day's going to be driving down the field for a touchdown because he's going to make it 70. He'll want to score 2 more touchdowns, make it 70-10.
Yeah.
He's not letting off the gas here.
Yeah. Well,
if he's winning, he's going to continue to roll and roll and roll, and he's going to put points on the board. Now, you don't want to get people hurt, though, when you're up 56-10.
Yeah.
You don't want to get Will Howard injured and some of your stars hurt when you're up 56-10 in the fourth quarter either.
Right.
So we'll have to see if it gets that way. I don't think it's going to be that way. I think Michigan's going to give them a tough game. Now they're in Columbus, so this should be the year that Ryan Day beats them. He has to. In fact, I think there's more pressure on him now than ever before because the expectation is for not only to win, they want like a big win, run up the score win.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not. I mean,
well, they're saying, "Hey, right. I don't see Harbaugh anywhere, so you better blow these guys out."
Right.
So
the expectation is to blow them out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Just for the record, we didn't say this was Kansas City Chiefs, the luckiest team in the USA. They have clinched a playoff spot.
Yep.
So that, they're already in. Some sad news out there. The Alabama A&M linebacker, Medrick Burnett Jr. died from his head injury. I know there was 3 days ago they had mentioned he had passed and then he had not. And there was an article saying, well, no, he had not passed. Well, it's come out that he had sustained a severe head injury. He had, I guess, a brain bleed, among other issues, and he has passed, a young man at the age of 20.
He got injured in one of the...
Playing football, one of the games.
Yeah, I was trying to think which
against
game.
in-state rival Alabama State. He plays for Alabama A&M, and they were playing Alabama State, and he was injured in that game. Suffered a severe head injury, and unfortunately it passed. He He had started his college career at Grambling State and then transferred to Alabama A&M.
Okay.
So we can send condolences out to his entire family and the fan base out there at Alabama A&M. Medrick Burnett Jr. has died from the head injury he sustained in a football game October 26th. So that's kind of we got kind of a whole smorgasbord of going on. Let's go ahead. I know we've got 10 minutes left up coming into the halftime of the show. Let's look at our picks. Boy, these games this week are. Oh, by the way, you got it right. I got it wrong. I went 2-2. You went 3-1. Why I took the Chiefs again? I should be, I should be fired for taking the Chiefs to cover 12 points, and they didn't even come near covering that yesterday, and they haven't covered all year. Why I picked them? I just
know that usually the Raiders play,
and the Raiders play them tough. Even though the Raiders have played absolutely awful this year, but they do play them
tough. I don't know why. Especially, is that their first game of the year? They played. I don't know if they play again or not, or they already played. But I know usually both of the games, or at least one of them, is always going to be tight.
Yeah. As it looks like now, when you break it down, the Chiefs are in. We can look at the playoff picture, though, maybe later. But, the Raiders, do they have it's a good question. Let's see the Raiders' remaining schedule. Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Jacksonville, New Orleans, and the Chargers. So they've lost. No, they lost to Kansas City 27-20 earlier, and that was 4 weeks ago. And boy, the Raiders
Closest
just
both games.
Yeah,
both games.
Both games were tough. So bottom line is O'Connell, the quarterback, is taking blame for the botch snap. So the quarterback says it wasn't the center, it was me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what that means. It means that he's basically lost.
Yeah. It's a stand-up guy.
But he's a stand-up guy.
He might think, hey, I could have handled it, but it was way off.
Yeah,
it
was
off. But, I can get him saying, I understand.
Yeah, Andre James was... No, that's not it, because he's sixth season. I have to figure out who that center was for the... who was in there. Anyway, let's move on to the games. The Bolts, the San Diego... Well, the LA, we still call them the San Diego Chargers. At Atlanta, Dave Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta gets a point. This is like an even game. So the Chargers are traveling across country they're going to play Atlanta, and Atlanta's getting 1 point. Chargers had a bad loss last week to the Ravens on Monday night, 30-23. And the Falcons are coming off a bye.
Okay.
Last time they played, though, they did not play or didn't show up to play. They got beat by the Broncos 38-6 back on November 17th. So they've had a week to think about it, and now they're back at home taking on the Chargers, who again coming off an ugly night, bad Monday night game. I wasn't bad, but
yeah,
they couldn't stop the run
at all. No,
at all.
They sure couldn't.
They could not stop it. So
I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I don't know.
Yeah, Atlanta has not really impressed anybody. I actually do. I agree. I think the Bolts will come back. Although I was kind of leaning on Atlanta.
Yeah, look, they can, Cousins get hot, and they do. They got offensive weapons. They definitely do. I just think it might be that hard fought ground game, hardball game, and maybe they only giving up 1 point.
Yeah,
but I'll go with them for that.
Let's go on to the next one. The Steelers at the Bengals. This is a good one. Bengals actually lay 3 points. So the Steelers on the road playing Cincinnati, getting 3 points. Bengals are coming off a bye. And the last time the Steelers played, they were playing in the Snow Bowl in Cleveland on Thursday night, which they lost 24-19. Steelers coming off a loss. Bengals a bye. The last time the Bengals played, they lost to the Bolts 34-27. So the Bengals roll set. I guess the question I have
Steelers getting 3.
Steelers get 3 on the road. So I guess the question I really have here, and I'm meaning to do this. I'm just burning curiosity. Is I know there's talk about where are the on the playoffs as far as like where are we at as far as where the Bengals are they in any type of a chance of getting a wild card? And that doesn't look. I mean, they take the first 7. Now Denver's
they're 4 and what? What's their record?
The Bengals are 4-7. The last wild card team in there are the Broncos at 7-5 because they take the top 7.
Right.
So the Chargers are 7. The Chargers are 7-4, and then Baltimore's 8-4. They're at the 5th spot. Chargers 6, Denver 7-5. Then you drop off, and the Colts are 5-7. Miami now is 5-7. The Bengals are 4-7. Then the Browns are 3-8. Jets are 3-8. So I know people still are holding on the fact that the Bengals can get into the playoffs because you've got maybe
you got to win out.
You got to really win out and go 10-7. I think, and in order to get into the playoff in the AFC, you're going to need 10 wins anyway.
Yeah,
that you're going to need 10. And I just don't know if the Bengals can win out or not because the defense is not playing that well.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
But getting back to this game,
I'm thinking about taking the Steelers into 3. I really am. I mean, the Bengals, but they had that bye week, so it's making me think they can get themselves ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a hard one.
This is a tough one because, again, the Steelers had 10 days off because they played Thursday night.
Right. It's almost like a bye, too. It's similar.
It's a semi-bye if you break it down.
So they come in there even.
And what I think the weather
is underdogs. I've seen that before. I see them talking about it during the week.
31 degrees in Cincinnati. Looks like it's going to be a cloudy day at 31 degrees. No weather.
Both teams was used to cold. So
right. They're both used to it.
I'm going to go. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm almost to the point here. I like the fact the Steelers are getting points.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking I'm taking them because they got the better defense. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only thing you have going is the Bengal defense has been the question mark here.
Yeah, they have played good certain times, but you don't know when that's going to be. Maybe this is the game they play excellent, but I don't know.
I'll take the Steelers.
Yeah.
Next one up is the Cardinals, who lost last week to the Seahawks 16-6.
That was hurt.
They're playing the Minnesota Vikings, who beat the Bears, again, 30-27. The Bears got that kickoff. Boy, the Bears have had brutal losses, too.
You.
Man, they lost to the
makes you pull your hair out.
Vikings last week, 30-27, after they made that comeback.
Yep.
Cardinals lost. But Vikings win. So... And the Cardinals are at the Vikings, so it is -3.5. So the Vikings lay 3.5 to the Cardinals.
Vikings lay 3.5.
So Cards get 3.5 on the road. I guess the only question you have is that hook. Could it come down to 3 points, or could this be a? I'll take the Vikings and lay the hook. Vikings at home.
That's a close one there. Vikings, let's see. Darnold is the Cardinals. Wow, that's a good. And the Cardinals getting 3 and a hook.
Yep, Cards get 3 and a hook. I'll go with Vikings.
That's a hard one.
These are
it is.
All these are really.
I mean, this is hard.
Last week we had all the big spreads.
Yeah, not this week.
Not this week. They're all tight. There is not one spread this week they're less than 7 points.
Yeah.
The highest spread this week is 6.
That's it.
That's it. That's the biggest spread is 6 points.
I mean, I'm thinking about leaning towards Minnesota too. I can always come back. I'd lean towards Minnesota too.
Well, think about it. We're on halftime break. We'll be back after a quick timeout on Saturday Morning Sports Page.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard or call 234-254-8532.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Take what's the point total? 6.5.
Yeah.
I'm taking them. The Titans.
Yeah.
I don't know. Commanders, if they win, they need to wake up. But I'm just going to go ahead and take Tennessee.
Yeah. Want to take Commanders?
Yeah. No, I'm taking the Titans.
All right. Go Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Titans.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what's going on
I'll take
there.
the Commanders on a bounce back.
I mean, it's time for
They're
them.
time for a win, and who not to do it better than the Vikings? Let's move on to the Texans at the Jags. 3 and a hook. The Jags get 3 and a hook. Boy, the Texans haven't really been playing all that great. They lost Titans, and then the Jags are off on a bye, but the week before they got absolutely annihilated by the Detroit Lions 52-6. Jags get 3 and a hook. Not much, but that hook could be the difference.
It could be. I mean, come on, Titans. That should be better. They should be better.
Yeah, the Texans should be better.
I mean, Texans. Yeah. I'm taking the Texans. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I got to go Texans too. I can't take the Jags. Yeah. I know they're due to win. Maybe I don't know, but Peterson. Doug Peterson's another coach. You got to figure he's gone.
He might be gone, but I give them credit.
They're going to wait. Yeah, he'll wait it out.
Play the season. Give him a respect and do that.
He'll wait till the end of the year, and then he'll fire him. Does Trent Baalke, the GM, make it, or they get rid of? Do they do a clean house?
Yeah, get Baalke out.
Get rid of them both and bring in new. Rams are at the Saints. 2 and a hook.
Huh?
The Saints are getting 2 and a hook. And the Rams, I thought I had to look at this twice.
They're in New Orleans?
They're in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's always tricky.
And the Saints are actually the home dog, getting 2 and a hook.
Always I hate.
And this is I
don't like playing it. It's just something about it, but I'm just going to say the Rams, with Nakua and Cup, and they should win this game. They should win this game by 7 at least. They should. So I'm just gonna go with it. I don't want to try to even analyze it. They need to win.
The Saints have won 2 in a row. They beat Atlanta, and then they beat Cleveland, and then they were bye.
Yep.
So they're coming off the bye. You want to take the Rams?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Rams.
All right. I'm going the other way. I'll try the Saints. They're at home. I have a feeling that, I don't know, maybe they've turned the corner. Who knows? Maybe. Let's try the Buccaneers at the Panthers, and that's 6 points. That's the biggest spread of the week. Well, they tie it with the Bills, 49ers at the Bills minus 6-2. Panthers are getting 6 points at home versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. They lost last week. The Panthers lost 30-27 to the Chiefs, and they played them tough.
I know.
And the Buccaneers beat the Giants, who didn't want to play, 30-7.
I think they got a good chance of winning Carolina. I do, in a way, but Tampa got. Baker's still playing pretty decent. Evans is back. The running game is going good with it. They got 3 different backs. 3.
Yeah.
So, but Carolina and Young has been playing good. They actually should have beat. Better. They should have. That's another game that the Chiefs won. That they could have won that too. Carolina could have won that game.
Yes, they could have.
And I'm telling you, good team just find a way.
Yep.
I don't know what to do in this one. This is another tricky one. What's the point total again? How many?
6. Bucks to give up 6. Home dog. Panthers get 6 points at home.
I'm going to try the underdog.
You're going to take the
I'm going to take the
Panthers
and 6. See if they could do it. I don't know about it, but because Tampa's tough still. Still tough.
Yeah, you know what? All right, yeah, I guess I'll go Bucks and lay the points. Eagles are at the Ravens, minus 3. This is the
Ravens get
425
3?
game. Ravens lay 3 points to the Eagles.
The Eagles get 3?
Yeah. The Eagles are getting, I had to look twice, but the Eagles get 3 points. They're on the road.
Yeah, they are in Baltimore, though.
They're in Baltimore. They're just down the road, sort of to speak. That's not what.
But I don't think they the rest of their schedule is just bus rides.
Yep.
Or at home.
Yep.
They don't have any flights anywhere.
No, they don't. They just get on. Yeah, they either got a couple. They get on the bus, a couple bus rides and home.
Because they're all close.
Yeah, they're all close.
Yep.
Yeah. They get. Yeah, that's it. Like you said, bus rides, a couple bus rides, and they're sitting at home, and that's it. They don't have to get on an air. They don't get on a plane. It's just
3 points.
Roll down the road.
That got a chance to be a big time game, boy. It's in Baltimore. It's a late game too, is it?
425. That's the late game. Yeah, that's a tough game. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just take the points. I got to take because I like I like the Eagles. I do like I always like the Red. Any of the teams would. That's because I like birds. I do. I study them things. Birds.
Right. Oh, okay.
So teams that symbolize birds, I like to pick them sometimes. So, but you got both of them here. So I'm gonna still go just with the point total. They're getting 3.
Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Eagles.
I'll take the Eagles on the points.
If the Ravens would have had the points, I would probably took the Ravens.
Yeah, I'll take the could be push.
Could be.
Eagles are 9-2. Ravens 8-4.
And both of them need to keep winning.
They need to win.
Yep.
Ravens especially, but the Eagles still.
Yeah, they want to stay close to Detroit as possible in case they slip up.
Right.
They can try to get home field.
They can get home field with Detroit, is the way they're looking at. Next one is the 49ers at the Bills.
Wow.
-6.
That's Sunday night.
49ers get 6 points at the Bills.
I think that's Sunday night game.
It's a Sunday night game. There's going to be snow. It's going to be cold.
Yeah.
As you know what, with the snow. I'll take the Bills and lay the 6 points. 49ers got blown out last week by the Packers 38-10, but they didn't have their quarterback.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's going to be back this week.
He should be back this week.
And where's the game at?
At Buffalo.
Oh.
And there's snow. Yeah, Buffalo's going to have snow.
And how much is San Fran getting?
6 points.
You know what?
Yeah, Frisco's getting 6 points on the road I'm taking
49ers.
Okay.
I'm just something, I don't know why, but I just am.
And the Monday nighter is the Browns at the Broncos. Browns get 5 and a hook. Broncos won last week, beat the Raiders 29-19. Browns beat the Steelers 24-19 Thursday night. Jameis Winston seems to be kind of unifying the team.
Yeah.
They like playing.
See, all his teammates love him.
They all love
everywhere.
Jameis.
New Orleans, one of them still there. Tampa Bay still like them.
Yeah.
It's his teammate. They love playing with him.
He's the type of guy that's just...
He's a team guy.
He's a team guy, but he has a very great, like a personality that people just gravitate to.
Yeah.
And they just really like him. All the players love Jameis Winston. That was the problem they had with Watson is they didn't like him.
No.
And they all loved Winston and they all wanted Winston to play. And they,
and they be blocking
Haslam
do everything.
Right. Haslam wouldn't do it. He should have done it. He should have benched Watson a while ago, but he wouldn't do it. Well, now it doesn't matter. But the point is,
I really think they're going to blame it on the coach. But I really don't think it was his decision. Because sometimes when he be talking, I said, read between the lines. He wants to bench Watson.
He wanted to bench Watson.
And just let Winston come on in.
He did. He knew. And Haslam was like, no, we're paying Watson. We got to pay. Yeah.
I'm actually doing this. Now, this one I'm picking on just heart. I'm gonna go with the Browns. I just want them to win. I want them to win, but I don't know if they can. It's in Denver. And Denver is so hard. It's just something about up there. But I'm just still going to take the Browns. Because you said it's 5 and a hook.
5 and a hook. Browns get 5 and a hook.
I'm just going to go ahead.
Denver's won 2 in a row since they lost to Kansas City 16-14. They were blown out this year by Baltimore 41-10. but they've been playing.
They've been playing good.
Very good.
Yeah.
I'll take Broncos as much as I kind of do like the Browns.
Yeah, I just want them to win.
Yeah. I like Jameis Winston because I think he's the kind of, like I said.
That's why. I just want it's a sentimental pick. I really think the Broncos should do it. I'll say that right now, but I'm just taking the Browns because I just want
they might win. I mean, I don't necessarily. I will not be surprised.
Right.
If the Browns win or the Broncos don't cover. Yeah. I could see the Broncos winning by 3. That's why I'm kind of waffling myself because I'm getting into, because the Browns have been playing better lately now that they've adjusted with Winston. They look like they're, they beat the Steelers. They're not making the playoffs. We know that, but the team just seems to be playing better with Jameis Winston. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll still go with Broncos just because Peyton, I mean, now everybody's saying, why didn't you draft Bo Nix? Like the Giant fans are all screaming and yelling, well, look how good Bo Nix is. We could have drafted him. But the problem with the Giants is it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They're going to be running for their lives because you keep going. I know I keep going back to that, but you watch enough football, teams that have the better line play win games. Teams that have poor line play lose games.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's true.
Anyway, so that's our pro picks. You were last week you were 5-8. I was 6-7.
Okay.
So that's that. Last week was a very challenging week though. Oh, good news is college, Dave. You and I were 8-3 on the college. Irish Mike was 7-4. So we recovered from our 2-7.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we all did pretty good.
We did pretty good on the college picks. Pro picks, we had challenges. The pro picks were tough last week. You won the Bears 3 and a hook. The hook got me 30-27. You took the Patriots. I took the Finns. We both lost the Commanders. They lost. There was 10.5 points to Dallas. They lost the game. We lost the Texans. That was -8. They lost the game.
Both Texans. Oh man.
Yeah. The Texans lost.
They
32.
lost. And Dallas, we thought they would lose. They won.
And they won.
They did the opposite.
And then you went with the Raiders last week. They lost. They got 6 points, but they lost 29-19. Gardner Minshew's gone for the year with a broken collarbone, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's done. And then the only question is going to be when you start to speculate, does Antonio Pierce keep his job? He's supposedly rumored to be on a hot seat. They're just a bad team. They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean that's really the biggest.
And the sad part is that game last.
Solid running back and they need a big time quarterback. They do. And they're not going. And so
the only thing I think that helps Pierce is because Mark Davis doesn't have a lot of money. I don't think he wants to fire Antonio Pierce because I don't think he wants to have to pay him. So I think he's going to keep him. I got to look at his contract though to see what his contract situation
is. Yeah,
but that's my take. Is I just don't think Antonio Pierce is going to. Let's look. 3 years. He's got a 3-year contract. Yeah, that he signed January of 20. He's in the first year of 3 years.
Yeah, they may give one more. And
I think he gets another year.
And I think you do, and you definitely got to go and get a quarterback.
Right.
You might come in with O'Connell as the starter, but you got to, unless you can get a big-time veteran, they can come in there, Jameis Winston, because he might slide around again.
Jameis Winston and Daniel Jones be a free agent.
Yeah. I mean, I pick either one of them.
So I won't be surprised.
To try to get us going and get that rookie up to snuff.
I won't be surprised. It's not a great draft for rookie quarterbacks this year. So, and I don't know where the Raiders are going to fall in that mix, if they're going to be, but he might go one of the rookies and go sign either a Daniel Jones or a Jameis Winston. What's Cleveland going to do for a quarterback next year? Because Watson's still going to be hurt. Watson's got the knee. He's not going to be he might not be ready.
Did he get the knee or Achilles, right?
Achilles.
Yeah, I think they said he might be ready to begin. They're going to bring in veterans, I think.
Word is they're going to work him out. He's not going to be quarterback for the Browns anyway. The rumor is
you mean try to get rid of him?
They're going to figure something out. Yeah.
Yeah, they got to. I mean, other than that,
I don't think they're bringing him back as their quarterback.
Yeah. Well, they got to figure out something.
But the otherwise, salary cap hit is brutal.
Yeah. And if it's too brutal, they're going to probably have to.
Yeah. But those teams historically, look at Denver and the $85 million dead cap hit with Wilson.
Yeah.
They drafted Bo Nix. They worked it out. I mean, they figured it out. Now the team is playing a lot better under Peyton. And yet, they had that $85 million cap hit. Everybody, I was one of saying, they can't, you can't go overcome an $85 million cap hit.
Yeah, they're doing good.
But they figured that out.
And the Browns may be able to.
So,
I mean, even though this is a different type of contract with it being all guaranteed, but if they could figure it out and try to smooth some of that money out some kind of way, I think they will do that. Other than that, he'll be the starter, but I do believe they won't play around with not bringing him competition to be the starter. I mean, when I say competition, I mean getting some type of player that's a free agent to compete big time with him, because you can't go in with that. First of all, just if guys don't want to play with him, then you're not going to be successful anyway.
Okay. The cap hit they take with Deshaun Watson is $72 million, but it says dead cap hit $172 million. It would take out right now the percent league. It's 26%. They restructured the contract and they backloaded it.
Yeah, no.
And, the Browns are Haslam.
And I understand why they did it. Had to do it that way, but it's done created an issue with him. The only thing that can get them out of it is he comes back and plays well. That's the only way.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the only way that you got to keep him. You got to just play him.
They were saying the cap percentage is 26% of the league cap. I don't know how they can get rid of this guy, but they keep saying they're going to. They're really going to have to play.
And I don't understand either, but what you just said was the same thing. What was the consensus? There's no way you can get rid of Russell Wilson.
It kept saying that $85 million dead cap. All I kept hearing is you can't get rid of him.
And they said it's going to be more than that. They said all that.
All that.
And we said, well, we know he's stuck. Next thing we know, he's gone.
He's gone.
They'll figure it out.
I think they always figure this stuff out. I don't
know how.
It's over our pay grade, but they always figure this out. Right. I'm not qualified.
I'm just waiting to see.
Fourth quarter coming up, Saturday Morning Sports Page.
The Mahoning Valley's leader for golf, Milk Creek Golf Course, is now booking tee times for 2024. We offer stay and play opportunities available with 9 area hotel partners. For more information, visit our website at millcreekmetroparks.org. Also, look for new, exciting opportunities coming soon, including an indoor player development center with Trackman, an indoor Callaway Club fitting center, and an Odyssey fitting studio in 2024. Follow us on Facebook at Milk Creek Golf Course or call 330-740-7112.
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio at westernreserveradio.com on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
Discount Power Sports at 778 North Main Street in Hubbard is hosting a raffle for a 125cc Pentora ATV. Tickets are $30 each, and 100 tickets are available. For each raffle, when those 100 are gone, a winner will be drawn and a new raffle will begin. Tickets can be purchased at any Hubbard home game or at 778 North Main Street or by calling 330-717-44441. $1,500 from each raffle will go toward a scholarship for the Hubbard Youth Coalition.
Let's be real. The odds of a high school athlete getting a college scholarship and making it to the pros are pretty slim. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to dream of becoming a pro athlete, even a famous one. But that's not why I play. My reason why? I love the competition.
My reason why is community.
My reason why is leadership.
My reason why is to challenge myself.
My reason why is love for the game.
And hey, if we don't make it to the pros or onto the cover of Sports Illustrated, that's okay. Because there's every reason to believe we'll excel in something even bigger than sports. We'll excel in life.
There are lots of great reasons to play high school sports. Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Saturday morning sports page coming back. Quarter number 4. We weren't on the air at the beginning of the hour, so my fault. But I want to congratulate Kyle Ralph and the New Palestine High School Football Indiana Division 4A Championship. Fantastic job. Fine young coach out there doing offensive lineman for North Carolina Tar Heels back in 2000 to 2004. Little NFL under his belt. And he's got a really great team out there, building a dynasty out there in Indiana with the New Palestine football team. Dragons. And then other local football teams. Ursuline lost 7-6 to the Toledo Central Catholic Fighting Irish. And then South Range lost to Liberty Center 48-14. So both teams did make it to the state semifinals, but could not get to the next. But we do congratulate those teams on a season well played, and their coaches and players play very hard. Coaches, again, high school coaches, they coach, they put a lot of time and effort into it, and they don't get compensated quite like Lincoln Riley, who has a $90 million buyout.
Right.
Poor high school coaches, they put a lot of time, effort, hot summer days, and coaching up the young men. And again, they're teachers and coaches, and they do a great job at what they do. So again, we congratulate all of these high school coaches that have gone on and the ones that did not. They still had great seasons. You get to the state semifinals, you've done well. And then you do have a coach like Kyle Ralph out in Indiana who won the state title for the Division 4A. Anyway, let's look at the colleges.
Some good guns.
These games today. Hopefully Irish Mike can call in.
I got a good game that I'm really thinking about. Hey, I know you got it on there too. Pretty sure.
Okay. Let's go to the game. We'll do this different. What is the game that you are thinking about? What is the
South Carolina and Clemson?
Yes, it's on here.
South Carolina and Clemson. I'm ready for that.
Well, 8-3 Carolina, 9-2 Clemson. Let's go to that one. Actually, South Carolina is getting this is a very, very big rival game.
I know. And I'm taking them.
USC.
The Gamecocks. Yep. I like Clemson, and I do like Clemson, but man, these guys. Oh, can they rise though? They going to Clemson to play though.
Yeah,
they
I'll
are
take
going to
South
Clemson,
Carolina.
But I just want to go with them on the road. I just want to. They're getting what? How much?
Two and a hook.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just a game I've been thinking about.
Years ago, I was down doing catastrophe duty in my other job back in the 90s. And I what they did then, they put us in like apartments. And I got in one of, they put you like in a Airbnb, but whatever. But anyway, I had a guy in there that was from South Carolina. And he was from, I think, outside of Greenville. But his children went to South Carolina. And they were big South Carolina fans. And all he talked about was Clemson. How, like, the hatred they had for Clemson. I was stunned. I always thought, like, Michigan, Ohio State's a big rival. That Clemson, South Carolina doesn't get the publicity.
Right.
But the rival is as intense, if not maybe more intense. But that is an intense, because all this guy, he gave me the school paper. This is South Carolina Gamecock school paper. And I'm reading it. And they've got these jokes about Clemson. And I'll be honest with you, they were kind of like off, like not like adult jokes. I'll put it to you that way. Trying not to get into trouble here. I'm just saying that I was like stunned with these jokes that they had about the Clemson team and
that's
the school.
That's what I said, because I've been there before.
I was like, wow.
And I didn't know it. And another place I've been to Birmingham before.
Yes.
And I don't know if Auburn, Alabama's on your list.
It is.
That's another one.
Yeah, we got that one.
That's got major hatred.
Oh, that is.
It's major hatred.
Didn't the guy with the trees down there, didn't the guy poison the trees? The Auburn guy poison the trees? You people are insane.
Yeah, it is that. I'm telling you, this stuff is crazy. It's insane, man. They take it too far, all of them. They do.
Michigan at Ohio State. We'll go back. Michigan at Ohio State, 20 points.
I'm taking Ohio State.
And lay the points.
Yeah, I'm going to lay it. And if they don't win, I want Ryan to take fire. Now let me quit. But I'm serious.
Okay.
Come on. You should be so upset of how things have been. You know what? But you got to give credit to Michigan. But you got to be upset. So I do agree with you. If they're winning 24-0, they're going to try to make it 48, 50, 60, whatever. They're going to try to run it up, I think. And Michigan has no offense.
No, I know Michigan has no offense.
They do play hard on defense, but they're out there so long.
That's the problem.
That's the problem, and I don't think they'll be able to cover.
Right. I'm taking Michigan because I really think this is going to be, and I'm usually wrong anyway. I really think that Ohio State will win this, but it's going to be ugly, and they'll win maybe by 14. I just don't think they're going to cover the spread because it's the rival game, and Michigan's defense is going to be hanging, at least keeping them in this game.
Yep. And I know. So, I think that too.
I don't know. I do. But you could be. I think, though, the adverse could happen.
This is I'm just like I did the Browns. I said I'll just take it because I won. This is the Ryan Day thing for me.
Could be.
If you can't blow these guys out now. Just allow somebody else come in.
Let's look at Tennessee at Vanderbilt. That's at noon. The Buckeyes are at noon on Fox. Tennessee is noon at Vanderbilt on ABC. And Vandy gets 10 and a hook. Vanderbilt 6-5. They beat Alabama this year.
Right.
That's their signature win. They lost last week to LSU 24-17. They hung around there.
Yeah.
Now, Tennessee had their layup win UTEP 56-0. I almost don't even count it. Why the SEC is playing their minor, the exhibition games in November, who knows why.
Right.
I'm sure there's a reason. I'll tell you one thing. I could be wrong. I think I'll take Vandy in the points because
actually, how many points?
10.5.
And it's in Vandy, right?
In Vandy.
Yeah, you got to watch it there. That's where Alabama lost in Vandy.
Right. That's where Alabama got beat was in Vandy.
I'm gonna take that too. I am.
And Vandy lost last week 24-17 to LSU. They're going to.
I think Brian Kelly is.
He could be out.
He could be out.
I think there's a good chance he's out.
Yep.
But they got. I see. But again, well, they have money. But I got to. That's a great question because
they've just been
underperforming.
Yep, because they got a good enough team to not be where they're at right now.
Okay, let's move on to Illinois at Northwestern. Northwestern gets 7 and a hook.
Almost against Illinois.
Oh, just so you figure they want to get rid of Brian Kelly. That's going to cost them $61 million.
These guys know how to. They know how to sign them contracts.
Actually, technically, if Brian Kelly is fired without cause on December 1st, he will be owed $61.7 million based on the contract he signed back on April 6th of 2022. So if they want to buy him out.
And guys like him don't worry because fire me. I'm going to get a job in a New York minute.
He'll end up getting a job
yes.
somewhere. I mean, someone will hire him.
Yeah, you know.
But the Illinois Northwestern.
Take the Illini, I guess.
And lay the points.
Yeah.
I wonder where they're playing that game because they're renovating. Are they playing that in Wrigley Field? I wonder. I bet they are.
Well, it probably is. Because
Let me see. I'll tell you.
Is Northwestern the home team?
Yeah, Wrigley Field.
Yeah, because I thought they were the home team.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with Illinois. Let's go to Notre Dame at USC.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 7 and a hook. So USC is getting 7 and a hook. I'm going to take ND.
Yeah, I am too.
I'll lay the points. Here's a big one. Very, very big game for Miami. They're at Syracuse.
That's a sneaky one.
It's 3:30 today on ESPN.
Is it more than 10 or 12 points?
11. Miami lays 11 points. They're playing up in the Carrier Dome indoors in Syracuse. And it's 3:30 today on ESPN. Notre Dame is on 3:30 today on CBS.
And all Miami got to do, all they got to do is just win in there in the against SMU.
Big win because if Clemson wins, they can get in.
If Miami loses.
If Miami loses.
Yep.
This gets kind of getting.
I think Miami has to win this game, and it's not an easy place to play.
Yeah, because right now the SMU Mustangs
are in.
Yep. And then it's really between Miami and Clemson. But if Miami wins and Clemson wins, but then Miami still has another game left. How can that be? They're 6-1, Clemson 7-1.
Who has another game? Miami?
Yeah, because they're short. They're short on one. I don't know. But how can we have to figure? Irish Mike might know. I know he's got something going on. Right now, the way the standings lay out, Clemson is 7-1. Clemson played an extra conference game.
Maybe that's what it is. Too.
That's what it is. But if Clemson wins, it looks like they would go to 8-1. And they're the only. No, you know what? Duh. Clemson's game is not.
Yeah, that's not a conference.
That's not conference. That's why. Okay. That makes sense. My bad. Miami wins, then they would get it over Clemson.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. They said they will get it over Clemson. I seen they said they have to win that game. So which game you just asked for? We doing Syracuse, Miami?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. See, I guess the way it looks now is if Miami lost to Georgia Tech, but it looks like they would get the tiebreaker over Clemson.
Yeah. Who did Clemson lose to?
Clemson, did they lose? They lost to Louisville.
Okay.
Yeah, they lost to Louisville. So evidently.
That's what it is. And Miami beat Louisville.
And Miami beat them. So the common opponent.
Yeah, and point totals and all that.
Yeah, and all that. Evidently, Miami beat Syracuse today. They're in. They play SMU.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if they lose.
I'm thinking about taking Syracuse in 11. I really am.
Yeah, that's a lot of wood.
You said it's 11, right?
Yeah, 11. Syracuse, that's 11 home. That's a home dog getting 11.
Miami can score. Syracuse, they don't really score a lot. No, I'll go back. I'm gonna take Miami. I'll just take Miami. I know they can score. Yeah, they can score. I don't know if Syracuse can really score.
Yeah, I'm going to take Miami. I don't think Syracuse is an okay team.
Yeah, they're okay. I just don't know if they score high.
But they're not on the level of a Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got to score like 28 points or something like that.
The next one is Cal. Is at California is at SMU.
How many points are giving them boys?
13.5. Cal gets 13.5.
They got some talent too, Cal. They do. I mean, I remember watching them against Miami, but then they got blown out later on in the game. But at first, they was handling it. Miami came back and beat them.
Yeah, the Golden Bears are basically 6-5. If they would to beat SMU, they would go 7. That would get interesting because SMU would be 7-1. What if Miami wins? Clemson, well, it doesn't matter. If SMU loses, Miami wins. All 3 teams, SMU, Clemson, and Miami would be 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
Then who would play? I guess the question.
Well, they already determined SMU is in it.
So SMU in, and even if they lose, they're in.
Yep.
Okay.
They're in there.
So it's really Miami and Clemson. I mean, if Miami loses, then Clemson would play SMU.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if Miami wins, they're in. They play SMU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what game we got?
Cal at SMU 13.5.
Wow, that's a lot. But SMU can put some points.
But they can score.
Can't they score? Yes, they can. And California can score too. But will they be able to score with them? I don't know.
Yeah, that could be like a basketball game.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna take the Mustangs.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it because I'm gonna take SMU.
Yep,
because of because basically Dickerson's Trans Am that he kept that he didn't give back.
I'm gonna take the Pony Express.
And that was I still love that story. They gave Eric Dickerson a car, and then he decided not to go to the school. And then they were like, "Well, we can't take," because Eric Dickerson didn't live up to his end of the deal. But they said, "Well, what can they do?" Because they can't take the car back because they gave it to him.
Yeah.
Even though, he didn't go to the school he was supposed to go to, he changed his mind, but he kept the car.
Yeah.
And what can they do? They can't call the police and say he didn't steal it.
No.
So they were stuck. Eric Dickerson's driving around in a car that they gave to him.
Yeah, that's their fault.
College football at its
want it back.
I love it. College football at its best. Money in envelopes, given cars to recruits. What else could be better? Who was the guy that had the 2 Escalades, the Cadillac Escalades, played for Miami?
That was Woolfolk.
Woolfolk had the 2 Escalades.
Yeah.
When he played for Miami. Let's go to Auburn and Alabama real quick. 11.5. Hatred. Auburn's getting 11.5. Alabama's out of the playoff picture. They lost to Oklahoma 24-3 last week. Auburn beat Texas A&M in an overtime, 43-41 last week. That's crazy. Auburn's 5-6.
No. What game we doing? Asking about which one?
Auburn at Alabama.
And Auburn getting how much?
11 and a hook.
Yeah, I'm taking them.
Yeah.
I'm taking that.
I like Auburn too.
See if they can ride that wave.
Yep. I just think this is going to be a crazy game. Arizona at Arizona State. Arizona gets 8.5. I'm sorry. Arizona gets 8.5 points at home. Home dog. Arizona State rolls in. Boy, and they're in the wacky Big 12.
No.
Which is just
crazy.
Just an absolute crazy conference.
Arizona State.
Yeah, I'll take ASU. I was just trying to figure out Colorado. Arizona State's got to win. Wow, this is crazy because Colorado 7-2, Arizona State 6-2, BYU 6-2, Iowa State 6-2.
Mm-hmm.
So what is Arizona State?
They can go. Colorado's
7-2.
Yeah, two of the teams, either BYU, Arizona State, or one more.
Iowa State.
Two of those got to lose.
Yeah, they just finished Arizona.
I seen them show that yesterday.
Yeah.
They said if two of those teams lose, the Buffaloes will be in the
Buffaloes get in.
Yeah, they'll be in that the conference championship game.
Okay. Let's move on to Texas at Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
This is maybe one of the biggest games in the weekend.
Another hatred.
And that's another hatred.
It's going to be a lot of fighting today.
Yeah, I think there is.
Oh, in these games, I think we're going to see some pushing, shoving, throwing people.
And then you're going to have the fans in the stands going at it.
Yeah.
So that's always
that's the fights we don't see.
Yeah, that's the fights
They'll
you
be
don't.
there. They're going to be happening too.
And the police will be busy.
Yeah.
Law enforcement will be earning their dollar.
A lot of beverages.
Oh, yeah.
right now.
I know. Boy.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah. Beverages. Adult beverages being inhaled or consumed, or both inhaled and consumed.
Mm-hmm.
Texas at Texas A&M. Actually, Texas A&M is getting 5 points.
Five?
Yeah.
5 even?
Yeah, I just changed. It's 4.5.
I'm going to take the
It's 4.5.
So it's 4.5?
4.5. Texas A&M gets 4.5 at home. Home dog. I'll take Texas and lay the. I don't know.
I know.
I go back and forth with this because the rival. I'm going to go A&M.
That's what I was going.
I'm going to take A&M in the points.
Me too.
Because I think
at home, 12th man, they're going to try to get it going.
Right. That's what I think. Let's go to the last game on our picks. Kansas State at Iowa State. -2.5. So Kansas State is getting 2.5. Did they
game
change
is at
it?
Where? Iowa?
What's 1.5? 1.5. Iowa, Kansas State at Iowa, and Kansas State gets 1.5 on the road. So this is almost an even game.
Yeah.
7:30 tonight on Fox.
I'm going to take Kansas State. Iowa State hasn't been playing. Neither has Kansas State, though. But I'll just take 1.5. Which is Kansas State is getting that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just take that.
I'll go the home team. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I think it could go either way. That's one.
Yeah,
for sure.
This is almost a proverbial flip of the coin.
Yep. Yeah, there was a lot of games. I mean, you've been doing it all day. If you went rivalries, I mean, you had Virginia Tech. You got all kind of games going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't even do the Houston BYU game tonight.
Oh yeah, that's a big game.
That's
too.
12 points. BYU laying 12 points to the Houston Cougars. But I don't know. We didn't do that one. But.
No, it was like I said, it was so many on there.
Yeah, there were
this year. I mean, this week with there being rivalry week.
Yeah, this was. When I first sat down, I didn't even put. I was going to send you guys a text with Friday games, but the Friday games were okay. But I decided because there were so many of these games, I just went with these only. I mean, I guess the Georgia Tech game. Georgia Tech was a double-digit favorite. Georgia was at home, and obviously they didn't cover.
No, that was a good one.
8 overtimes.
Florida State. I think Florida's going to take care of them. They played it.
Yeah, Florida. Since they got that quarterback, and they've kind of since Florida came out and said we're not going to fire the coach, we're keeping him.
Mm-hmm.
The team has rallied around him, and now they're playing really. See, they're a dangerous team. That's the kind of team. The other team that I would not want to play is Kansas. Because evidently they had all those injuries in the beginning.
And all of them
they're all coming back. And they're really a good team now.
Yeah.
And no, they're not going to make the final 12.
But can they get I was hoping they can get to a bowl game if they keep winning, but I don't think they got enough. They got to win 6.
Oh, you got to have, let's see.
6 wins to be bowl eligible. And I don't think they are there.
No.
But I would love to see them because they are on the roll. They're fun to watch.
Well, yeah, they can.
They can?
They're 5-6. Do they have a game or are they done?
No,
they play Baylor.
They play Baylor
today at noon.
at Baylor on ESPN2 at noon today.
Yeah, so they can get bowl
They
with
can
this
go
win.
6-6, and they can get into a bowl.
Yep, and I hope they can. Because I
Me
like
too.
how they've been playing.
Because they've been playing really good.
Yep.
And, the other team in the SEC that nobody wants to play is Florida.
Yeah.
Since they've kind of, again, we're talking about that team, kind of got to figure it out, and they're a dangerous team.
Yeah.
They're 6-5. They'll go to a bowl.
I'm still waffling over my team, whether to take them or not. Miami. Because they giving up 11, I think you said.
11. That's a lot of wood.
And Syracuse, it's not that they score high, but they can throw the football.
They can.
That's
McCord is the quarterback, the ex-Buckeye.
Yeah, and they can. They could throw the football.
No, they
Miami
can.
are subject to having breakdowns in their coverage.
I just think Miami's a better team. Now, whether or not they cover, that's the thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think Miami should win it. But will they cover?
That's
with all that throwing.
Yeah, with all that's the only question is not who they win, is whether or not they cover. As we know firsthand on this show.
I think I'm gonna stay that. I'm gonna stay Miami.
You're staying?
You got Miami too, don't you?
Yeah, we both went that direction.
I'm just gonna stay like that. Just keep it like that.
Yeah, I was thinking, we were kind of talking about coaches and firing, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I don't think the Browns will fire their coach. They said now the Bengals coach could be
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor could be on a hot seat. I don't buy it. I don't think the Colts or the Titans coach. I think Jags, they're going to have an opening there. I don't think Antonio Pierce is going. They're 2-10, and they're not in. They've been officially eliminated. I don't think they're going to get make a coach change. Obviously, Chicago already made their coach change. Carolina Panthers are playing better. I don't think Tepper's going to fire that coach. I mean, David Tepper, though, was so...
Yeah, he's but
I don't think he'll fire the coach.
So much better as of late. Seriously.
They've played better. You can't go in and turn it over again.
Young is starting to play better.
Right.
Running back, Hubbard is...
They look
and
good.
They got Brooks back now.
Now, rumor has the Tampa Bay's coach could be under the hot seat. And I don't believe that. Todd Bowles, they play hard for him. They've got it decimated with injuries. He's still in the playoff picture.
Yeah. I wouldn't, I be thinking he shouldn't get fired, but that I wouldn't be surprised they just went on and did it. It just seemed like that happens to him all the time.
I know.
He doesn't get the respect as being a good coach because they say your record is what it is, but sometimes it's not that. So I always think he's one of the top. I think he's one of the really good coaches in the NFL. That's why I said I kind of see that might happen. I hope not, and I don't think it should. But I can see Tampa Bay saying, "Hey, we're going to go a different direction." And I don't know where Bowles will go from there if he get another. I know he'll be coach if he wants to coach.
Oh, he'll coach.
He'll be a defensive coordinator or whatever in this league. It's not going to be just a guy that won't be coaching anymore. That's for sure.
Everybody have a great, safe week. Do not drink and do not drive. Enjoy your games this weekend. Stay safe. Saturday morning sports page on Western Reserve Radio.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Without him, we're talking about this team maybe being the worst one in the entire league.
On the bandwagon, I was high on this team, but my concern was this awful coaching staff.
They'll keep tabs on the big wins and bad beats from the night before. Plus, get you geared up for the action that's about to begin. Follow the money now at 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
watching VSiN's College Football Tailgate Show right here on VSiN, the sports betting network, where you get your winners.
Welcome back, everybody. Fresh hour of the VSiN College Football Tailgate Show. 1 hour out till the noon Eastern slate kicks off. Week 14, all sorts of rivalry, win total, conference title game implications, as we're here to take you through all of it. I'm Ben Wilson, back for another hour. Big thanks to Tim Murray joining us for all of hour one. We're about to go out to our progressive guest line. First of 4 guests still to come over the next 2 hours. A quick reminder, though, if you're still looking to get in some action here, you got a lot of time to do it, and we have a special going on right now, Black Friday special today, where you can get VSiN Pro access to everything we do from now through May 1st for only $60. This offer expires on Monday. You sign up now, get access to best bets, betting splits, video access 24/7, all of our betting guides, and best bets. You go to VSiN.com/subscribe, VSIN.com/subscribe. Sign up on that Black Friday special right now. And with so much on offer here, let's start. First of our 4 guests coming up, we go to our pal Bill Bender, who's joining us live, just like Tim Murray was joining us live from LA. He'll be at Notre Dame USC a little bit later. Bill getting set here in about an hour for the big game, Michigan, Ohio State. We'll also get into the rest of Bill's plays here as we go out to the progressive guest line. You follow Bill at Bill Bender 92, frequent VSiN guest. And Bill, interesting to get your thought on the lack of 2 major stars for Michigan.